on live. So let's try to.
Yeah, baby.
Make sure the audio is
okay.
Well,
like make sure I'm not like shouting into my mic.
that we can even. We don't know, but
Okay, all right, that's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Whatever.
I feel like I have an appropriate distance for me. I feel like you do too.
So
As long as everything's
like this,
it's being recorded. Perfect.
we can do this. We can do this.
I feel like
better?
further out's better. You can always zoom it in post production. Make sure we're.
There's no post production in this moment.
Make sure we're in center. Put it. Move those cables. Yeah. Move it closer actually on the table so you don't get the table in the shot.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I see.
Either way.
You might have to move it over some closer to the computer.
Or put it on top of something.
Yeah.
Let me do this.
Probably a little better. Yeah. Make sure it won't fall. Perfecto. Amazing. Perfect.
This is good.
It looks great.
Yeah. Okay. So let's wait for confirmation of my sister if this is live or not.
Or no. When it's live, it's still being recorded, right? So you can.
Yeah, we are recording. We are doing this right now. Actually, I don't know if I can just download it. You know, when because it's the first time doing this, I would like to just stream it and maybe download it. But it's supposed to be live. So let me see. It changes this stuff. Man, sometimes when you're doing something new, there's stuff that you feel like weird.
Well, you never did it before, so it's gonna feel.
Yeah, you're live.
We're live.
All right.
Amazing. I've never been live before on YouTube, so this is fun. All right, sit on down.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, we have so many things to cover. At least that we've, covered together before.
I think that hopefully the mics are good.
That's fine.
Let me see.
Like you're not really quiet where I'm really loud or.
Yeah, that's. Es que no sé if I put it here, it's like if it's not gonna make sense since like if we're gonna overhear each other.
Okay.
She said that she doesn't see it, but you know what? I'm gonna share it with right now. Yeah, man, it's exciting. I was looking for something like this a while ago, and I don't know. Sometimes we complicate stuff. Mm-hmm. So you want the perfect scenario. You want the perfect for you. In my case, my voice, whatever. Yeah, my sister see the live. So yeah, I guess that is fear when you want to do every perfect, and then you just delay it, and I guess that's that. And for everything, when you want to do actually something that is important for you, but it's like you want to do it perfect. And there is no such a perfect thing because, by doing, you get better. Mm-hmm. And then one day you kind of have the sense of, I'm kind of good with this. So,
Yeah, doing anything new for the first time, it's like building muscle, like in areas you didn't think you needed to know. It's like emotional muscles too. Like you really have to put yourself out there and learn new things.
Yeah.
So it's always uncomfortable. But yeah, the only way to get better at anything is just to kind of just do it.
I'm curious. I'm curious about you as an actor. Like, I think that that's something I trying to install in my mind, that everything is in a way acting. Like, you try to put yourself in a position of being this character, and then you perform every day. So for you, how important was to be, or to have learned all of these skills of acting, and how that like help you to develop all the things?
Well, that's such a great question. Acting, when you're formally trained as an actor, like taking actual acting technique, one of the first things they do is, you can imagine young actors coming like out of high school, and they're suddenly in New York, and they're in like a professional acting class. A lot of nerves come up. Amateur actors move a lot, and they feel like they need to show the audience, like what they're doing, what they're thinking. So the first thing in acting, like true acting class, they teach you is to reduce your movements. Like, don't move unless you absolutely have to. And don't say a line unless you absolutely have to, because that's how real people work in the real world. And it's actually really hard to do.
It's like overdoing it.
Right, overdoing it, or the character has to cross the stage because that's what the stage directions say. So they like walk all weird,
like a robotic.
Yeah, it's like walk like you would really have to walk there. Little things like that. So that's really like when you first get into true acting. They actually call it Alexander technique. It's being able to sort of just understand your body. But what I learned over my life is, when in the professional fields, this is really important. So the people who get promoted faster are the ones who can reduce their body movements, right? Like in negotiation, or if they're a manager or whatever the case, every single movement of their body is intentional. And if it's not intentional and they're nervous, or they don't know how to deal with confrontation or anything like that, they're typically not promoted quickly. So professional development, in my experience, is actually closer to take a formal acting class, and you'll actually have a stronger sense of what leadership means in the business world. I mean, you have to know what you're doing, obviously, like in business. You have to know numbers.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know, but it's like a skill on top.
Yeah, that's the soft skills of it.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of smart people who work in departments, in businesses all over, but they have no understanding of like how they dress is sending a message. Just like, it's funny, in professional world, they call it a role. Like in a business, they call it a role, just like in a show, like in a play, you're playing a role. And they use the same terminology in professional world. Mm-hmm. So like any professional development coach or whatever is going to probably tell you, dress for the role you want, not the role you have. And then start acting like the role you want.
Not the role you have. Okay.
Right. So I have found that
that's I love that phrase, because sometimes we are in a position, I'm gonna do it my way, and my way will fit whatever things that I want to do. Meaning, I dress really bad, and then I go to a place where you have to dress and match the standard, right?
Yeah.
People won't hire you because no, it's my way. It's like the entitlement that people have regarding. I mean, this is one example, but you can translate to many other things.
Well, that's true. Young people, like the generation after us, feels that the whole world, and even the professional world, should be reduced down to what they're comfortable with. And it's like, well, that's not how the world works, but school teaches, college teaches them that. That's where they're getting it. So it's like it's kind of crazy. I mean, it used to be, it's like, no, like there's a respect to what you're studying, and you show your respect in the real, because when you have a job, ultimately you're asking a company to shell out money for you to work there. That's what salary is. It's a big deal. I mean, you have to, you don't just get it, you know.
Yeah, and you know what? And people say, even in our industry, it's like, oh, I do this. I mean, although it's like some people want to have a transition from the job, at the end of the day, it's your job. You have to have responsibility for it. It's like, don't take it like, oh, I'm just doing this, right? It's like, bro, somebody is like making a business and giving you money for the service. Basically, what you're doing. Every employee is a server on their company. So yeah, I mean that entitlement won't get nowhere.
And the dressing thing, you're right. I mean, kids feel like they can dress at work however they want, however makes them comfortable, which is fine. But I don't think young people get like, and this comes from show business, but it also comes from common sense. It's like you are telling other people how you want to be treated by how you're dressing. It's a communication style.
Of course.
Like when you watch a play, one character is going to wear what they're wearing. Like if you ever talk to a costume person in a theater, they go to such detail about if it's a real.
That's
like
super interesting for me.
Oh,
the guy, I'm learning a lot.
They will go, oh no, this character would wear this coat, but he wouldn't wear it in dark purple. He would wear it in dark opal. And the reason is and he's going to have the jacket slung over his, thing in this scene when he's doing this. It's a whole communication style. And like people who tell stories professionally get that. And they even have dress rehearsals. So it's like there's a whole set of rehearsals for you stepping into the clothes that you're going to wear on stage. And if you ask any professional person or any professional actor who's done that, they're going to tell you the most important rehearsals were dress rehearsals, where they finally felt they're like, you rehearse it for weeks and weeks and weeks and months, but it's not till you put the clothes on that you feel like your actual character. So it's the same.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, ask any actor. That's what they'll tell you. They go, oh, once I tried on those boots,
everything changed. You know what is funny for me? Bro, I was a mess on how I dress. Like, it was really bad. That I got to this country and then I figured out really quickly that how like the perception you give is everything. Yeah. So even I used to cut my own hair, and that was so bad. I want to save money, all of this stuff. So I used to cut my hair thinking that that's a good thing, but then it's not like presentable. So then I started, okay, let me do this, change it. My ex-girlfriend helped me a lot to change it, elevating my style. Mm-hmm. That was super cool because I never had that. And then I learned that, okay, so I like this style. It doesn't mean that everyone had to just fit one particular way of wear stuff, but you can just, learn and change however kind of you like. And then you start learning about style, combinations, things like that. And actually, now I like it. Let me see. Let me take this off. Okay. Now I like it. I'm not like really into it, but at least I know that the things that I have all the clothes I have, they are the ones I want. And whatever doesn't align, I just throw it away. And it's been really like, aesthetics is not my best skill, but it's something that you can learn actually. And talking with people like you, like I say, my ex-girlfriend helped me a lot with this. And yeah, I mean, everything can be learned. And it's easy. It's not easy, but just to see. You have to see, like, the cool part of living here in Manhattan is that you have a range of people who wear weird things to the guy who have custom dress and $2,000 shoes, whatever. So you can see that range and you say, oh, I kind of like this style. Or even the things that you want to do, like me being like entrepreneur, or me being, or what kind of entrepreneur I want, or so you see all of these ranges and you see, oh, I kind of like more this. And like you say, if somebody doesn't want something, you have to kind of know how to dress and how to behave. Like you go to finance, man, here in Manhattan, you can be like with shorts.
No.
I mean, you have to figure it out, like, okay, no, I don't want to wear like this, so just don't be in finance. Oh, at least on that kind of companies. You find a finance company that is more startup, that is more flexible. And just,
or if you start your own company, wear whatever the hell you want, but
be aware at least that these things exist.
What I say is, like, there's a template for your role, whatever role is. If you're concierge in a hotel, if you're in finance, if you're a lawyer, if you're a tour guide or whatever, like, there's a template to what you ought to wear.
Yeah.
But you have got to add your own style too. I mean, that's how you stand out too.
Yeah.
And gay guys are great at this.
Definitely.
Watch any gay guy in any position in any company. They're wearing the uniform, but they're wearing it the way they want to wear it. Unless it's like Chipotle or something where it's like But if they work in a department store or like sell cars or something, like they nail it. Like they'll wear the slacks and the shoes and the button down shirt, but they'll have like a really stylish like handkerchief or something.
I gotta be honest, like we need gay people to
gay people are gonna save the world
for the style. Those they are
gonna take over the world. I'm determined.
I guess that's true, bro. Everyone is gay. I'm telling you, I got here, but aesthetics are something that are super important, and they nail it. They are the king of that. They
totally understand it.
And I've been learning a lot from everyone, and here in Manhattan you can see it. And so going through acting, all of this stuff. Now we start talking a lot of AI. We've been talking a lot, and you have a really good takes on it. Me too. I mean, you know that I'm doing a master's degree in data analytics, and I try to do AI projects aiming to create a company with it. Then, what are your takes that you think, what AI will look like in 10 years? We'll be here to see it at all.
Well, my biggest point about AI is I think that, and this is just my opinion, but I like to look at things like with a sweeping view. So I don't typically like to be like, oh, well, this person said this, so I'm just going to listen to what they say, and this must be the truth.
Yeah.
I like to put it in like a huge context, and as I see like human beings from like way long ago, like prehistory, like ancient apes, all the way up to like where we are now.
Apes, but with plants. Now right. We have the same stuff, but we wear good shoes.
But there's also been like over the last few hundred years, as people have noticed that man is this obsession with like
improvement
and making machines.
Yeah, developing.
So that's true. You know what I mean? Like TVs and washing machines and toasters and refrigerators, air conditioning. It's like the constant machination of everything. So futurists and artists and people who are crazy out there thinkers have always sort of said, like, there's going to be a point where we march into this time where we create another man, another version of ourselves, that will be better than us in terms of like all the things that we do. So I think we're making a new type of life form ultimately that's going to be better at doing things that we do. I mean, information processing.
That's kind of true, but you like you say also that extinction go with it.
Well,
Do you think that that's the percentage, or just a possibility that you think, oh, can happen?
I don't think anyone knows, but I think
Yeah.
I think we have to realize that we are creating something new that's not just computers. I think the average person thinks like AI is just like computers that are like maybe make a few more decisions, and that's all. And they copy and paste things from the internet. Like I think that's what the average person thinks.
What is actually you think it is?
Well, I mean, people who are working on it, it's mimicking what our brains do. So that's like the father, Jeffrey Hinton, who I've talked to you about, who came up with neural networks, which is what is the foundation for all the activities of what we call AI.
Is the layer, the first layer.
Or the ability to learn and create neural networks, which is what happens in our brains, by the way, which we opened this podcast by saying, doing something new is challenging at first. It's because you're actually building new brain cells.
Yeah.
So it's uncomfortable to build new brain cells.
And then that's why some people never do it. Because there is pain involved. And that's why it's a psychological pain. Sometimes it's like physical because it's translated. But yeah, to your point.
Psychological pain, exactly. And so like to learn a new skill, like to do a podcast or to write a book or to do something new, you're building new brain cells, so it's uncomfortable. But these things the AI and the systems that the big companies are making is doing that at a scale that is insane. And what makes it crazier is it's all digitalized, so it doesn't need hardware, whereas we need hardware. We need a brain. And AI doesn't need a brain. It's just a set of information and learning patterns that it can store, and it can actually put that information onto other pieces of hardware, which is something we also can't do. So it's just a new form of information processing, and eventually, once robotics gets good enough, they're going to be able to do physical things. So we have right now in our economy, we have intellectual labor, and then we have physical labor. And so the working class are those jobs that are more physical. Now you can actually get paid pretty well doing those things now, so maybe not working class, but
actually now it's flipping.
It's starting to flip, and that was kind of my point that I was making is, the intellectual work, finance and law, and computer science,
is gone. It's gonna be gone.
Exactly. They're already being assisted with AI. People who already have jobs, who have had jobs in these fields, are starting to use AI in the workplace. And so it's just going to get better at processing information.
Absolutely.
So all those people who are dedicated to do that, maybe they won't all lose their jobs at once, but it's going to be harder and harder to keep your information processing job.
Yeah, the pace of you keeping with all of this technology and learn more than them, those models will be harder and harder since that they are going to get better. And I believe that people will they can learn faster if they use it well. But also, we were talking about the MIT research where it said that people can be dumber just because they rely too much on those kind of tools. And that will be damaging your brain, actually, because you are not building those cells, and all decisions will be made for them. But for those, I'm saying them, for those kind of tools. Yeah. And I don't know if the apocalyptic view of it will be true, but I believe in if people don't catch up on these kind of problems where people are becoming like literally dumber, the IQ have decreased like 5% here in United States. No, 5 points, which is a lot in
5 points
average.
is a lot.
Yeah, so
Average of drop of 5 points.
that's a lot. That's, people just don't think. And the whole point of IQ is your ability to think.
Right.
So
And
organize ideas.
Right, and college is less about, and education in general is less about the type of information you're taking in. It's more about your ability to take in information and then apply it strategically. It could be any information.
I love that you take, because I went to that good university in Colombia. Shout out to my Colombian guys. And then I'm here in one of the best universities too. And I was like on my debate, like, oh, this is worth it. This is, all of these resources online. But then I figured out, okay, yes, all of these resources are online. But when I go here, they allow me to just, hey, do this essay. I think that the essays are the best thing for you to think, organize ideas, and get better at taking decisions. Yeah. And I believe that, although, the good part of the university is that in connecting with people, which that's why people, everyone is sad, nobody have friends. Like, it's that the disengagement of people talking to each other. So it's a big problem. So come back to AI. I think that we don't, like I said, probably we don't know what will happen, because there are chances. Some people say like, hey, it's 20% of maybe AI taking over, and still it's 20%. Steve Hawkins, before dying, he wrote a book, and he said in the first, and I still remember. Really, this is really vividly. He said, in the short term, the ability to control AI will be the more important.
Yeah.
But in the long term, if we will be able to control AI.
Yes.
Such a hard take right there. And he died already. And he didn't know ChatGPT. How crazy that is.
Well, that's what I mean, is scientists and artists and thinkers throughout the generations have realized that this is an inevitable thing to happen.
Yeah, that's going to happen no matter what.
So what to do and what will happen? I think let's pretend there's another planet out there with human beings, or beings like us. They would probably do the same thing. They're going to make machines to a point where they can make a new type of life form. Mm-hmm. So it's a strange, almost like spiritual conversation. Like, what are we building? What are we building? Yeah, and I was going to say, it's already taken over in a lot of ways.
I mean, for every decision you take, even watching Netflix.
Well, exactly. But even there's even a study that younger kids, Generation Z, won't make any big life decisions without first typing it into ChatGPT. What should I do with this friend that's bothering me? What school should I go to?
Oh, actually, that's so fascinating. Do you hear the new research say the psychosis? They call it already ChatGPT psychosis.
Psychosis, yeah.
Basically, it's just ChatGPT becomes your best friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, the person that you say you advise her. And you just stop fucking taking decisions. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Should I say fucking?
That's fine. You already just said it, so it's the real world.
It's the real world. That happened, right? Okay, whatever. So you have to, just don't rely on that much. Or, however, I will say that is useful. In a way of you driving, you are the driver, and the machine could be the helper for you. You know what I mean? It's your car, but you are the driver. You know where you're going. So it's like, how you going to invert the rules? You have to just know what is your role. And your role is the driver.
Yep.
You have to know, hey, this is convenient for me or not. and then take the decision. It's your call at the end of the day. But I mean, that's like the easy path is the more is usually what people will take. And that's evolutionary because we don't want to spend energy and resources on thinking. So that's why people will start doing it and more and more and more.
Yeah,
I would say that to learn is the best tool ever. I've been learning a lot, but it's depending
stuff. You know, like I feel like deep intellectual ideas. I think it's probably either biased or maybe doesn't.
Sometimes,
you know, but like to learn, hey, how do I replace this thing in my car, or you know, what's the basic employment law in this state, or you know, like sheer facts. I think
would argue,
great at teaching.
Yeah, I would argue that is gonna become a really good tool as a system, but I would say that
eventually you're gonna just put your kid in front of an AI, a government. Here's my prediction, and it's being recorded. There's eventually to be like a government approved AI tutor system, and you just like sit your kid in front of it and you like click on the grade that they're in, and it just talks to your kid all day, you know, and just like a normal teacher would. And it might look like a normal teacher,
but it's going to be super biased.
Really? Well, but it's not going to be really a teacher. It's going to be AI. Mm-hmm. It might be biased. It might not. I mean, maybe there's extreme precautions taken to make sure it's not biased. But the nature of like, and then the question's eventually going to become, once AI and robotics gets to a point where products and services can be created with minimal human input, the question is going to become, why would I sit my kid in front of the government AI to learn arithmetic if I don't need him to learn arithmetic later on? I mean, it was always obvious. That's what's so crazy about this new time we're in. It was always obvious you had to teach your kid something. You had to send them to us way back long ago before the modern system. It was just some schoolhouse, and you just put all the kids from that area in the schoolhouse, and you had the older kids teaching younger kids. But it was always obvious that you had to teach reading and writing and arithmetic and basic history, and then you spilled them out into the world and they did something. But it doesn't be less obvious why a person should have to do that.
So what would you do then? Like, what would be a good way to, rather than put it on AI, robot?
I think schools are going to have to be probably reimagined, and like where
definitely
you have to be there in person. You maybe like in a garden or something where it's not like in nature, you know, with a real person. And you know, that's
gonna be hard.
It would be hard, but it's going to have to be like rethought of eventually, because you know, it's probably going to be like where you have to be in person. You have to receive, you know, we have to make a decision as a society eventually that this is what we want. You know, be in front of a real person learning real things. And maybe it's going to be more like the Montessori model, which is the Montessori model is we sort of give a basic curriculum and we oversee the kids, but they have a lot of say as to what they're going to learn, because the idea of Montessori is you're going to gravitate to things that you're naturally interested in. So
okay, I have some takes on it. I read this book that basically said the name is the Sovereign Kid, whatever. It's like basically the whole idea is allow your kid to do everything, meaning they want to go and eat sweets, he gonna eat sweets. He gonna want to watch television the whole night, they can do that. But the idea is like your parents have to be a really good example of what to do and what not. So it's like, okay, the guy won't use their phone, so the kid will say, what I'm using my phone if that's not useful? My dad doesn't do it.
Got it.
It's like, and the idea behind that is like the kids will learn to take decisions faster and correct for them rather than somebody else doing it, you know? But I don't know. I mean, it's a really hard take because I believe that rules are important too. And then if you are the guide, like the person who is supposed to be the guide for a kid, you have to show them, hey, don't do this, don't do that. That way the kid will see the boundaries of what I'm doing, right? Because he's exploring, right? So I don't know if just allow your kid to just eat whatever the fuck. No, it's not the way. But I mean, it's like, I would say that the strict way of it, like super give them all the rules. The bad thing of it is like, oh, my dad is gonna take all the decisions for me, so I don't have to take the decision. So when they go to the real world, that's a huge problem, because you have to confront the reality. Is like you have to choose paths, and that's on you. So, but if you teach it to the kid, like, oh, you start doing your decisions, that's gonna be like a better approach. But until where, like, oh, you can eat whatever you want. I don't know about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At 18, he had diabetes and
will lose his teeth or something.
What else? Yes.
I think being a parent, is, and I'm not a parent, so I don't know, but I feel like there has to be a blend of like setting boundaries that are going to make sure that they're functional in society, but allowing them to explore and make mistakes in a healthy way. Like I don't ever think it's, in a parent's best interest to like scream and yell and get totally, nasty with their, like, being a human is really messy, and you're going to think that you like one thing and that you don't. You're going to think that hanging out with a certain crowd is great, but they're not, but you have to be able to make those life mistakes with a loving parent ready to say, whatever mistakes you make, I still love you. But yeah, it's hard, and it's hard. You just open your ears to parents today. They don't even know what to do with their kids because of technology, because of social media.
Yeah, it's hard.
They can't be the one family that doesn't give their kid an iPhone in high school.
10 years old.
Yeah, then it's middle school, and it's elementary school.
Yeah.
And
I don't know, man.
They're being exposed to things on social media that the parents have no idea, because the parents are working real jobs, so they don't even know what's going on in social media. So they're being exposed to things. And
not just that, like the problem with attention. Do you remember that we saw these statistics where people they don't have more attention anymore? The attention is going down, the neuroticism going up.
Yeah.
All of those statistics shows like the consistency of social media, since like you're just thinking about the dopamine hit all the time, and you need serotonin too. So serotonin is what make you feel more stable, and people are not stable anymore. So you want the dopamine. That's why you can't be bored for 10 minutes. Because you don't have that capacity.
Yeah.
So that serotonin is the thing that make you, this is the hormone that make you feel like stable. So you need both. But people just hitting on dopamine all the time, and every 5 seconds is one more.
Well, that goes into another, like, I think that people don't, when other people talk about a couple of things. When people talk about AI taking over, it's already taking over in a lot of ways, because
different ways.
Just look around, everyone's on their phones at any time. If they're not
definitely
dealing with like opening a door or like ordering coffee, they're glued to the screen. Everybody. And it doesn't mean a lot of people are working on it, but a lot of people aren't. But it's always right there. And it's always been, like, social media in particular has always been designed to keep your eyes glued to the screen from day one. So it's never been about connecting anyone to anything. It's always been about entertainment. And that's my issue, is because I feel like, there's certain laws governing the safety of cigarettes and, pornography and things like that. I think there should be similar laws to say, maybe there should be like screen time, or, maybe there needs to be age verification. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but that's the thing. And I was going to say, there's a great book that you would like called The Coddling of the American Mind. And one of the authors of the book is a man named Jonathan Haidt. I think he works at Harvard, but I could be wrong. He noticed that suicide attempts and the actual suicide rates between high schoolers skyrocketed in 2009. Okay, now girls already had a tough issue in terms of feeling like they fit in high school. So suicide attempts were already higher for girls in high school than other parts of their life, but skyrocketed in 2009 and never went down. And so he's a college professor, so he's like, why? What changed in 2009? It was the iPhone. The iPhone was invented and distributed, which means people were accessing Facebook, which was already invented before the iPhone. But which means they were accessing Facebook in front of their face way more often than before. Mm-hmm. So this comparison thing, looking at other people like FOMO or whatever, or feeling like the social media world is more real than the real world, sucked everyone's attention in 2009 and contributed to more boys actually killing themselves.
That's crazy.
Because boys, when they attempt suicide, probably will really go through with it because boys are boys. But the suicide attempts between girls also rose. So both the sexes at the same time, same age group, skyrocketed because of phones, smartphones. So they always had little razor phones, before, but the smartphone completely obliterated mental health.
That we have a crisis right now. I think that everyone in the world
covered.
This is the thing. Nothing of this is real. Yeah. On Instagram, everyone wants to portray, even me, the best self. You want to
it's a dream world.
See that thing like a Narnia, where you put just the beautiful pictures. The car that you can even rent, pay.
That's the whole design of it.
It's just for FOMO.
It's for FOMO.
Yeah.
And you think let's say I'm an influencer, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not an influencer. Let's pretend I'm an influencer, and I have 1 million followers. I think that I'm doing something. Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't consequences. I might be invited to places and get free stuff, etc. But I'm not really doing anything. What I've done is I've created an avatar for Instagram who owns everything I put on, or whatever.
Yeah, basically they own the data, yeah.
They own whatever I'm putting into the thing. I am driving activity for Instagram. I'm not really doing anything. I might get sponsorships and I might get, invited to parties or award shows, but I'm contributing to this algorithm that doesn't care what you post, doesn't care who you follow, just cares that you're on it all the time. Yeah. That's why TikTok is great, because you don't have to put anything on TikTok, but you'll still scroll endlessly. Because it's not, they're capitalizing on that feeling of novelty and learning something new quick, or seeing something.
Learning allegedly, but you don't learn anything. I mean, you learn, but it's two ways of learning. The things that you actually see that exist, and the other thing is how you do it. But when you actually learning is when you go and do it, and that's how people don't. That the last one. So actually, you're not kind of learning if you're not going through the process of doing it. But and that's the huge problem, because I've been there too. Where you think that you are learning, and you just consume it, and you just procrastinating. Literally, that's the whole thing, and you're just wasting your time. Although sometimes I consume a lot of content because I wanted to improve my English. So I was, let me read more, listen more podcasts, whatever. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's if you are reading something that you want to apply, and you don't apply, you are not learning anything. Yeah, but yeah, it's a huge issue. I don't know where.
Well, in the future, this is what Elon Musk does at his companies, which is basically he's less concerned about your certifications and the college you went to. And he tells me, okay, what are you really doing in the real world? And what problems have you faced and how have you solved them?
That's it.
That's all I want to know. You could have gotten a degree in finance and you figured out how to completely retrain the characters at Disney World or something. It doesn't matter what it was. It just needs to be real. You really did it in the real world, solved a problem. Because that's ultimately
that's interesting.
Anything you're doing, any job you're doing is solving a problem in a certain window of expertise. That's any job ever is.
Yeah.
So
definitely
his approach is, tell me how you're doing that in the real world. Point blank. It doesn't, it's like title doesn't matter. And I think his viewpoint on it will be
definitely
in the next decades.
They said, I don't care if you are Harvard. I know.
Tell me what you're doing, how you're doing it, the problems you're solving, and give me people who have witnessed you do it.
That's it.
That's it. I don't care your credit score.
I love that take. Yeah.
Is that, are you, and that already is like that at the top levels. Like if you're an executive at a company and you're being headhunted, that's kind of already what it's like. But even I feel like down at the lower levels of an organization, that's going to be more of that conversation of like, how are the problems you're solving right now similar to the problems that we're facing in this role? And your ability to say and talk, articulate it will determine if you're so to all these kids who just look at social media all day and think that they can get a sociology degree and they're going to get a job. No, you have to be able to defend yourself.
Defend your debates. That's what I'm doing this, guys. I'm not even, 4 years ago, I couldn't even speak like a normal conversation in English.
And you're doing great.
And now I'm trying to just do podcasts in English to just keep improving my vocabulary. Yep. And today in the morning, I woke up and I start talking with, like, asking questions to AI, walking to my gym. Hey, help me to improve my vocabulary by doing this and that. We were talking about a topic in a specific, but you are using it for you to improve and do or create those cells that we were talking about, and those synapses, and then neurosynapses, and then you just develop these skills. That's how you just keep building on top of new knowledge by doing, not just by reading, or that's passive learning. And I still have hope, so I try to do my best to like promote learning in a good way. And I guess that I feel that AI could be good if you are using it good, like everything, like YouTube is not good or bad, it's depending what you're doing there, and it's depending like what are you looking for in life. And at the end of the day, it's like, if you don't want expectations, if you don't want like a future for you and your family, that's okay. Spend your time whatever you want to do your thing. But I try to portray a reality for me, and that's what I want to share, and that's it. Just to finish with the podcast, what do you like about New York? What do you think that this is the place that, why you are here? Because we are not from here, so.
Right. Well, for show business, for one, in my early career, I moved here, but New York is always been, it changes so much over the years, but it's always been that city that everyone thinks about when they think about freedom of choice and freedom of thought and opportunity. You know, it's really like a beacon for a lot of people, you know, around the world. They think, you know, if I'm going to move to America, typically the first stop is New York.
Definitely.
So there's so much energy here because of that. And there's just a sort of, you know, sense of history here. And America isn't an old country, so we don't have tons of history where if you go to Paris or Berlin or something, you know, you feel a lot of, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of history. So we don't really have that. But New York kind of has a little bit of that because
It's the oldest, one of the oldest cities.
yeah, and it's just been around and seen so many historical things happen here. It's just wild when you like presidential campaigns and during the World War and in the arts, and it's just always a place for the cutting edge, always. So yeah, it's just exciting to be in a place like that. Why did you come to New York of all
I
places?
think that New York has something that to offer for people who want to improve themselves. I guess that sometimes we need like real necessity, and here is like everything is raw. So if if you apply for a job, they probably will say, "Hey, bro, you suck. Oh, you are not that good as you think," and that's sometimes the raw energy that New York has, and that for me that's good because sometimes some cultures just polish stuff without saying the real thing.
Yeah.
And then that's how you get better. So basically, New York forces you to do to be the best version of yourself. And I feel that if you go to Miami, bro, Miami is beautiful. It's you relax, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that you don't have to relax once in a while, but here is like, oh, you want to do this? You better meet
Better
the
be
standards.
excellent. Yeah.
You have to just
competing with the
do your
global.
thing, just
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
You know. So and when you have like high expectations or goals, here is a good place to be because those high expectations are a normal thing.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's like everyone has it. So it's like it's easier for me to be in an environment where something that I want is common. In that way, I don't have to fight the system. So if you go to a place where everyone is chill, don't do this. When you have to fight to more things, you know.
Yeah.
Here is like okay, normal, and you kind of mash that energy, and that's what I like. And other things like you learn from everyone. Like I don't know anything about politics, and I've been learning politics for my friends, like right, left, and then you hear one intelligent conversation with the conservatives, one intelligent conversation for Republicans, whatever. Republican is the same stuff, but conservative and leftist, liberal people. Yeah. So I like to learn from everyone. In here, every field is here mostly. No petroleum engineers, but pretty much everyone. And you can just learn and just in a normal casual conversation with somebody, you figure out that this guy has a huge company, and you never know. It's like beside you can be this millionaire guy who is creating this company or this actor, and if you are like me that want to learn, and this is a good place to be. I don't know, like the problem is sometimes you get overwhelmed, and that's why I live close by in Astoria, to know like overcharge myself about all of this energy.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys used to it, I guess, after a while, but for me, I like that balance.
Yeah, you have to find like a way to be centered. Like when you're walking through the street, it's hard. It is. I agree with you. It is overwhelming. Sometimes when you leave work, you're just like, wow, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I agree. You have to be excellent at whatever you're doing.
All right.
Yeah.
So if last question, if as actor, if you have for all these people that we were talking about this all the time, that they can communicate, that they are really bad at expressing themselves, the emotions.
Yeah.
What the only thing that you would say to them that maybe would make them feel the best version of themselves in that capacity of expressing themselves?
Well, know that, the world expects you to be deliberate. So the less deliberate you are, like in terms of like literally, if you mumble or don't finish your sentences clearly, if you don't look people in the eye, if you don't stand up straight, if you're not deliberate with what you're doing, even at a small level, you will never be taken seriously. But the world wants you to be deliberate, so it's not a scary thing. It doesn't mean that you're overly ambitious or that you're not being nice. It means you're being a true person in the real world. So be deliberate with what you say and say it fully. And even the way you walk, choose the way you walk in your work and on the way to work and what you wear. Just choose it. And that's what like people, you can be anything you want to be. And it's true, but it starts with the smaller decisions.
Absolutely. And the other thing, just to finish, all the things that he's saying are skills, meaning you can learn them. So it's not something that, I was born with this. You learn it.
You learn.
That's it.
You learn.
And that's how we finish this stream.
I love it.
It was really good, bro.
Pleasure. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Bro, it was